Hey everyone, Angelo here, out of the emergency room. I actually went out last night, so I wasn't checked into the hospital. I'm not trying to obsess over this or anything. Thank you so much though, everybody's positive comments, and then everybody upvoted those positive comments. It's been a long time since I ever went to try and get help, you know, for mental disorders, and still part of me thinks that, you know, what's the point? It's pointless, as much help as I've gotten. But I'm trying not to obsess over it, because one thing about depersonalization and derealization I've read from multiple sources is that people with DPDR tend to fixate on it and obsess about it. But the more you do, the worse it gets, the worse you drive up your anxiety. So suffice to say, I am trying to do things to help myself. You know, not out of this. You know, the one person who I think probably understands this stuff in a way better than me is my mom, because, you know, she knows me, and I have to trust her opinion when she says, of course, you'll get out of this, you'll get out of this slump. Because every time before I did somehow, and I was 100% convinced I wouldn't. So, like I said, I'm not trying to relive stuff, obsess about it. DPDR, if you don't know, it's basically feelings of being outside your body, not feeling your emotions, feeling like the world's unreal. And what it is it's considered it's like a trauma survival response. I don't know if you can see my face, the screen's dark, but whatever, gotta live with it. The sun is so bright, I don't want to reposition to get on my face. It's like a survival response to a trauma. And your brain, the irony of it is, your brain or your mind disconnects from your body in a way. And I've read about other people who basically were shut-ins with it too, kind of consistent with what I experienced. And it's a way of trying to, you know, deal with the pain of whatever. Sometimes, you know, it could be, I don't know, whatever, for people. Divorce, a death, a car accident. It's not the case in my... for me, it's more or for some people it's like they have a bad drug trip. They take weed that's way too powerful, and then they get a panic attack. And that's well, that didn't happen to me, but the panic attack symptom happened to me after a very stressful month, or I guess you could say longer than that, when I was younger. And title's a little bit clickbait of this video, my shocking diagnosis, because I already basically thought this about myself. But talking to a doctor, man, it was, I never say this, but that hospital was dope that I went to. Somebody I know recommended it to me. I texted this person and I said, hey, I need some help. Where can I get some free mental health care? They said, well, you know, you can go to, I think it's Mount Olive Hospital around here. And I said, really? That's a little bit farther out. What if I went to another one? And they said, no, go to Mount Olive. Well, the screen's flashing when I move my hand. The sun's hitting the lens. That's what it is. And I went there. They were incredibly professional and nice, beautiful facility. The doctor was so understanding and listening. And it was shocking for me, because he said, yeah, it sounds like you have DPDR. That sounds exactly like it. And we have other people that go through it. And, you know, it's not at the top of the list of things we look for, because more common are things like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, depression. But he's saying, yeah, it sounds like that's what you have. So he recommended I go for a specific type of psychotherapy. I didn't get any drugs last night, any prescriptions. He recommended I go to they have a mental health clinic. It's not open today because it's Black Friday. It's part of Thanksgiving. So tomorrow it'll be open. I'm going to try and get there 8 a.m. and go in, get a psychiatrist. He said they might give me something like maybe to help me sleep, because that's one thing I am having trouble with. I have sort of weird sensations, hallucinations when I'm waking up, falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, because my sleep's interrupted now. And maybe something for the anxiety. So, you know, I'm wary of all this stuff, taking drugs, you know. And then a psychotherapist to help me actually deal with this stuff. And it was shocking, because it's like, I only discovered DPDR. It's a 0. I only discovered it about a year ago when I was going through a little bout. It wasn't too major, but it was scary, and I bounced back after like 2 weeks. And I was wondering what the hell could cause this? How could this happen? And I saw the symptoms match mine. I'm like, holy crap, like, could this be what I've had for 16 years? Now 17. But to hear a doctor say that, I even told him, I'm like, I'm shocked, because all this time I thought I was just cursed, or I was just insane. So it's a lot to take in. It hurts, you know, it's scary. Don't feel like myself, and you know, I'm trying not to obsess over it again, but it's hard for me to believe that it's not really permanent and it's not just going to, you know, destroy me. But I've been through it several times. They say, yeah, there's treatment for it. I've seen other people who have treatment. I'm going to try and get online coaching too. It's going to be a little pricey. I got to watch out for that. So, you know, it's hard because I can't engage emotionally. I saw, like, with stuff like I saw Parasite yesterday, the movie. It's an excellent movie, but it was hard for me to sort of emotionally connect in it because I was sort of distant. I was having anxiety. I wanted to get up, run away at one point. I know I shouldn't fixate on this stuff. And when it gets really dark, the movie, like, I couldn't have the suspension of disbelief in a way, so it was almost like I really thought it was happening, the, you know, kind of shocking events on screen. And so I couldn't really enjoy it in a way, and, you know, that's not me. And also, you know, I care a lot about social justice, you know, racial equality and stuff. And I feel those things, like, not being a concern for me. Like, oh, well, nothing matters. You know, I saw stuff about transit, you know, public transportation, people wanting free fares for the poor instead of paying millions for the police. Normally I'd be like, yeah, right on, and I still agree with it, but I went kind of numb to it, like, oh, well, who cares? Everything's forfeit, life is forfeit, and that's not me. Because here's something I can be sure is an important cause that, you know, affects me and I can think about, and yet I'm not fully engaging with it. I'm through this haze, this fog that doesn't let it feel real. And I get strange sensations when I was, like, trying to sleep last night. Strange hallucinations in a way, like I kept feeling like there was a wall in front of me, and whenever I'd hear and I'd see strange things, like actors doing strange routines, and emotionally it was harrowing. And I did end up falling asleep, waking up, falling asleep, waking up. And noises from the street, you know, car, like the occasional car that went by, it like was kind of jolting me, and that's not me. So, you know, maybe, and this is what my mom said too, but maybe I came to LA not just to make movies, but to finally get proper treatment for this. And again, I'm putting my trust in her in a way, in that she kind of knows better than me in a way, because she always thought I would get better. And even after I got better, I was always convinced she was wrong in a way, like, no, I wasn't supposed to get better. And in a way, you know, maybe I came here to get cured, or at least really good treatment, because in Virginia it was hell trying to get treatment. Absolute hell. There was one hospital nearby, and there was more further out, but one hospital, here, you got your pick of hospitals. And I went to one that looked like state of the art. And you know, you got a little mental health clinic, but you know, Virginia's a smaller area. But it was just absolute hell on earth. Dealing with, you know, this disorder and trying to get treatment. And to no avail. Couldn't find anything that worked. So this time, I'm thinking we got the proper course down. And even if it gets scary, and if, you know, my mood wanes and dips, that I can be kind of confident, keep going forward. When it gets worse, that means it's going to get better. And I'm still here. So, you know, thank you all so much for the comments again. I felt so bad. I felt like I'm disappointing everyone by being sick. I don't want to be like this for people. I don't want them to see me like, oh, Angelo got sick. He can't be himself anymore. Too bad. Last time I went through this, and the other 2 times, basically I had no one. I was by myself. Yeah, last time I did have my YouTube channel, but it was nothing. It was like 170 subscribers. I didn't put that much on there. Now it's kind of incredible. People all over the world are, you know, supporting me. And I'm hoping this turns into, you know, a triumph. That this story works out with good treatment. And me just focusing on being well. Whatever that means moment to moment. Today, I ran like 40 minutes on the treadmill. I walked about half of it. To try and put myself, you know, try and get rid of the anxious energy, sort of focus my mind. And then I went into one of the massage chairs at Planet Fitness and decided I'll try and relax there. A little scary, but I'm holding up. And it's just weird. I'm through a little bit of a fog, a little bit of a haze. I don't know how well you can see me exactly. The screen is dark on the phone, saving the battery. And the sun is so bright outside. We've had rain for like 2 days. My jacket's still wet from walking through the rain last night trying to find my car in the emergency room parking lot. But like I said, tomorrow, going straight to the psychiatrist. Gonna talk to them, see what they say. They're also gonna try and set me up with, you know, some way to pay, because like half the people in this state need help paying. 75%, not half. So yeah, thanks so much, and I'm gonna keep pushing. And you know, I didn't know what mental health was when I was younger, when I was having this, or mental health care. No clue. The first time, I really thought God was doing this to me or something. I was in terror and had no clue how to cope with it. And fortunately, I got through it. And then it came back, and I got through that, and came back and got through that. But this is the first time I realized what it is. So, you know, people, and I hated asking for help and going to the emergency room. Thank goodness they were saying at the hospital, like, no, you're doing the right thing. Because I told them, yeah, it's not too bad now, but last time I was disabled for 9 months, and there were parts where I was up 23 hours a day and screaming in pain, and I couldn't drive. So yeah, they're like, yeah, you did the right thing by coming here. So that's good to know. You know, I hate ever asking for help. You know, that's a kind of common thing with a lot of people. You don't like to think you need help. But it was nice to see, you know, so people out there, take mental health seriously. You may not have DPDR, but, you know, there's no sense in suffering needlessly with a lot of things that people have. I know it's hard to ask for help. When I look at this now, I'm like, why the hell didn't I ask for help a year ago or 2 years ago when I was doing okay, but I knew I could always get sick again? Why not do it then? But, you know, it's happening now. And somehow, like my mom said, she said to me, like, Angelo, maybe it was my instinct to send you to LA because there you can get the best treatment. You know? She remembers what it was like visiting me in the mental hospital. The staff were great, but it was still just hell on earth for me in a way, being treated there. Yeah, there are worse places, war zones and stuff, prisons, but it was hellish for me. It was torture. And somehow I knew if I got through that, I can get through this one. And if it is this DPDR thing, it definitely is something I can get through. It's not just a curse or I'm insane. That's what a lot of people with DPDR apparently think, is they've gone insane. That's what I thought. And I hated myself for it. I'm like, well, I'm just this insane person. So anyways, I'm going to try and, I don't know if I can even write for my screenplay in this emotional haze. You know, I need my emotions to be sharp. But I'm going to do some stuff, try and help myself. May try and see a movie again today. Maybe The Lighthouse, just to sort of feel normal and to try and focus myself and test whether I'm well enough to, you know, experience a movie. Or maybe it'll help me even. Because my whole life, movies have been the thing that kind of, you know, saved me. And I feel like lately I almost I have to be more selfish in a way about helping myself, because I'm always worried, oh, I should never feel too good, I should never enjoy anything. You know, if I'm doing something that I enjoy, something's wrong, and people are going to judge me for it, and it's a hard thing, you know. I'm such a masochist about that. And in reality, you know, I have to have a balance, because, yeah, I do have to be considerate of others, yet I have to help myself first. I have to. And that's something I'm not used to, you know. So things change moment to moment. I sit, I get up, my mood shifts. Sometimes for better, sometimes I get a little shaky, but you know, I want to see this thing through and be my old usual self, and get back on track to making movies and being a weirdo and hating music and complaining on videos, and oh my goodness, it's a huge truck, and just doing the things I like. So anyways, thanks again for the support, everyone. You know, if you're in doubt, get some help for yourself. I refused to, because I really thought, like, well, this is just the way I am. I need to be without help. And, you know, you don't realize it until after the fact. Oh, I should have been a little more grateful, and realized, okay, except if help's there, before it can become an emergency. And I asked, by the way, too, what happens, I'm homeless out here, and I have no family here. What happens if I get sick to where I can't function? They said, then come back to the hospital, and maybe I can stay there. I'm not counting on that happening. But anyways, so it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, but I'm amazed I'm still able to speak as clearly as I am and feel as clearly as I do. And gonna keep at this. So thanks again, everyone. I'm not trying to do too many videos about this in a way, but unfortunately it kind of takes the center of everything I'm doing when, you know, my mind's not clear. So let's see how it goes tomorrow.